Hello everyone, I'm Lisa Wind. I've just blown in. And today we are back with the more Seduce Me 2, The Demon Waltz. We've continued down Mathew's path. My father-in-law kidnapped me. I'm seeing visions occasionally of having a slave collar, and yeah. Life's not good. And oh yeah, they failed to get me home twice now. Okay, so now that we're all caught up, let's dive in again. Ah! See, it's always good to begin on a scream, right? Ah! As my voice ripped through the air, a bright light erupted through the room once again. Everyone covered their eyes, but Diana quickly scrambled to get on her knees and covered me with her body. Diana, sweetie, I'm not into you in this verse. Get off. And not that way, creepy succubus. She held me tightly as the light invaded the space and slowly began to fade. As the light finally died, everyone moved their hands to see what had happened. What indeed? In the air was a white tear that was slowly opening, facing down towards the table. Something was coming. You don't say. Puppies? Is it puppies? Give me puppies. I think that should be an option. I could feel it in the air. The guard summoned his spear and pointed it at the tear, glaring at it and gritting his teeth.
Something's coming!
Yeah, also, you might want to unclench your teeth. That's how you end up breaking them. In reply, Diana summoned what looked like a saber and placed it in front of us.
Ready yourselves! It could be the Demon Lord!
It could be, but if you've seen other walkthroughs of this, in this game, not of this path, because this is the first time running this path. The other demons in the room readied themselves and stared at the tear, either holding a weapon or preparing a spell. Yeah, we're a diverse group here, yo. I felt the air change, becoming heavier as the terror began to grow. The energy around it began to pulsate, making everyone in the room that much more tense. I stared at the tear as well, frightened as to what was coming. Was it the Demon Lord? His minions? My mind began to cycle through the fearful ideas of what was about to appear. I'm guessing it's not puppies by that noise, but I think we all know what's appeared. My heart almost stopped. Really? Fallen from the tear and landing on the table were 5 incubi brothers. You don't say, but not the Mario brothers. I mean, just once for a bit of difference, you know? They were piled on top of one another, having come through one at a time. However, as the last brother landed, the boys fell to one side, toppling off of the table and landing on the floor. Guys, let's not break Diana's stuff. Come on. The rebels around me stared at the fallen pile of incubi. Yeah, I guess it raining incubi is not something they see every day. Confused and surprised. As the tear in the air closed, the ogre man was the first to lower his sword.
What the hell?
Agreed.
Who are they?
Careful, they could be the Demon Lord's men.
Well, if it's who I think it is, you're kinda right and you're kinda wrong. No. The rebels looked at me as I stood up, Diana following and still protecting me, and I stared at the boys on the ground. They all looked dazed and a bit shell-shocked from having fallen twice in rapid succession. I almost couldn't believe it. There they were, right in front of me. Like a badly written screenplay. My mind couldn't help but remember how I had first met them. They had all been on the floor of my mansion, unconscious and wounded. Yeah, we have a bit of a history. Now they were in front of me, in the demon world. I know, it's like they didn't want to come back here ever again. I know them. Does anyone really know anyone? Hi guys! Sup? I stared at the one I was meant to marry. I mean, I am still down for Plan Harem, just in case anyone's curious. Seeing him slowly shake his head and rise from the ground. They came to rescue me. He came to rescue me. My heart became overjoyed and full of warmth and happiness. I was going to go home. Well, I mean, eventually. The question was, how? Yeah, that's kind of been the question from the start, hasn't it? As the sight of the boys kept the demon's attention, a second tear opened above them, causing everyone to look up. 4 women dropped down from the tear and somehow managed to fall into the arms of the incubi behind Mathew.
Whoa!
Aw, you're still too good for him.
I gotcha.
Debatable. For now. Aw, you're so cute.
Whoa! Are you okay?
You're the telepath, you should know.
Eric!
Hello, replacement me. The fact that we're sort of similar looking, not surprising.
Love, I've got you!
Aw, slight twinge of jealousy there.
James!
Aw, you're so cute. Although I kinda want you to lose the scarf. It's really doing nothing for you. It seriously makes your neck look way too long.
Whoa! Are you alright?
I stared wide-eyed. Their wives came too? Yeah, it's like you expect them to stay at home or something. Although his wide expression is best expression. I watched as the boys and girls finally planted themselves on the ground before looking around. However, Mathew instantly bolted for me, causing Diana to jump away in surprise. Really? This little guy is what's gonna make Diana step back. Really? Okay.
Whoa!
Mathew wrapped his arms around me, and I instinctively tensed up from being charged at before taking in his scent in his physical form. He was here. I wasn't dreaming. He really came for me, and he was here holding me. Finally. That frickin' time, sweetie. I think we went all of last sesh without talking to you.
Are you okay? Are you hurt?
I mean, physically I'm fine. Emotionally, mentally, I kinda want to kill your dad. Also, I've been having visions you're kind of like the worst. I'm fine. No, I'm not. Don't lie. I almost couldn't believe it, but I wrapped my arms around Mathew's torso, pulling him tighter to me as I took in one more width of his scent. Young man. However, before I could melt into his arms in relief at his presence, he was forcefully dragged backwards. Hey, get your own, damn it.
Hold it, hold it, hold it!
No, I want to hold him.
Whoa!
Huh? Classic reaction there. I watched as the fairy figure gripped Mathew's hoodie and roughly pulled him away from me, with an angered face. Fairy lady, man, whatever, I don't care what your pronoun is. He's with me. Back off. Wait, hold on.
Mathew!
Let's not go the cliched superhero fight, please. We're kind of in someone else's home. Before anyone could react, Mathew spun around and swiped at the fairy. They squeaked and released him, floating higher into the air.
Hands off!
Yeah, exactly.
You hands off!
You're both wrong. Now stop it. I quickly rushed over and held Mathew's hand, wanting to bring his attention away from the fairy and back to me, where it should be, gosh darn it. Sweetie? Matthew? Eyes here, sweetheart. I pulled him towards me, causing him to gasp and look over to me, before I wrapped my arms around him and hugged him close. It's okay, he's with me. Really, little fairy, Tinkerbell wannabe. I looked to the fairy, seeing them puff out their cheeks in reaction to my actions and words. Mathew, however, wrapped his arms around me again and hugged me tightly. See, you're both pretty. Now stop it. Unfortunately, Mathew and I couldn't stay close for long. The fairy scouting caused us to pull apart to look at them.
He has the same aura as the Demon Lord!
All 5 of the boys should have that aura. Rubbing her head and glaring at the fairy, Diana stepped up, crossing her arms and rubbing her temple.
Well, he is the son of the Demon Lord.
Exactly. Also, the fairy's expression is perfect right there, like, Hmm?
That's not what I meant! I'm saying... Ugh!
What are you saying? You need to speak a little more clearly.
Come on, let's get you home.
Exactly. Also, Diana's look of, ugh, I am so over this shit. Priceless. Mathew gently took my hand and tugged me towards his brothers. However, this time Diana stepped in front of Mathew. Okay, Queen, lay it down.
I'm afraid she can't leave.
Thank you.
And why not?
'Cause your dad's a dick.
She's been cursed. She can't
Yep.
leave this plane without dying. But if
Yeah.
you tried to bring her back to the demon world, then be my guest.
I kind of agree with Diana here. Not a good plan, bro. Mathew glared at Diana and stepped in front of me protectively. Oh, we'll get that cute little girl. But, like, dude, I so don't need you to protect me.
Why should I believe you?
Why would she lie? Diana's many things, but she's not a liar. It's true, Mathew. The Demon Lord cursed me, so I can't leave. I placed my hand on Mathew's shoulder, causing him to turn his head and look at me in surprise. His expression morphed from anger to sudden fear.
What? You can't be serious.
Dude, if I weren't serious, I'd be home by now.
We are, but don't worry. We plan to kill the one who cursed her soon enough.
Thank you. Also, I hope that's not awkward, sweetie. It's kinda your dad.
When?
1 week's time.
Cool. Good plan. Let's keep with this idea.
1 week? What?
I know, right? This isn't a Bare Naked Lady song.
Where is this number coming from, Succubus?
Also curious.
We need to fully prepare ourselves for the final stage, which I'm certain will only take a couple of days.
Okay.
We pinned him into a corner. The
Cool.
Demon Lord will fall.
Yay!
That's rather bold to assume.
She's your queen, sir. Know your place.
She's right, though. We can prepare everything in that time frame, right?
Maybe.
And if he does the same and attacks us before then?
Don't think he's that smart.
He won't.
Okay, awfully confident. I watched as Diana walked over and cleared the table of the materials they had gathered for the gate spell, revealing a physical map of the Abyssal Plains. She pointed to a spot on the map. A peninsula surrounded by water labeled as the Decaying Sea.
We'll cast a barrier spell along the edge of the peninsula and around the castle. He and his army won't be able to move from that spot until we break it ourselves, which will be during the siege.
Cool. So you got a plan.
Where would we get the energy needed for that kind of spell?
She's a queen. I'm sure she has ideas.
We won't be using energy.
The other rebel demons in the room suddenly tensed up, staring at Diana in surprise. What was she going to do?
My lady, you're not suggesting...
Finish your sentence, sir.
The Demon Lord has shown how far he is willing to go to win this war. It's only fitting to show the extent we'll go to in response.
Cool.
As much as I agree with you, this seems a little rash.
Nah, I don't see any blotches on her skin. She's fine. I think she's always had those purple marks.
What are you guys talking about?
Wow, sweetie, I'm keeping up. Why aren't you?
Are they allowed to know?
Well, as they're about to become your allies, I'd hope so.
I plan to put a barrier curse around the Demon Lord's castle and army. It's temporary, so it won't need the blood of 1,000 demons. But it will need the sacrifice of at least one demon life.
Okay. I'm not cool with this.
And I assume you'll be sacrificing one of my soldiers.
Why do you assume that? That's a weird conclusion to jump to.
Is this our only option?
There are other options, but they will most likely take a lot of energy to pull off.
Exactly.
It just depends on what we want to do. If we want to do this immediately, then the barrier curse is indeed the best option.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to performing the curse. As rash as it is, it will make our lives easier in the long run.
Exactly.
You expect me to hand over one of my men?
Dude!
My soldiers joined the rebellion to kill the Demon Lord, not to get their throats slit before even seeing the final battle?
Again, why are you jumping to that conclusion it's one of yours? I have to imagine she has more forces than just your men.
It's wrong, but can we really afford to spend any more energy? Diana already spent a lot trying to send the human back.
Yeah, sorry about that, Dee.
What is the other option?
Well, aren't you 5 here? Can't you just fuel whatever spell she needs to do? I mean, just get your wives and start having an orgy and let her feed. The rabbit woman and the fairy moved towards the map and pointed at the peninsula.
We could form tall rock walls around the castle. Box him in.
Okay, that sounds stupid.
It will take a lot of our energy, but we can recover in that week period.
Okay.
And what will stop the Demon Lord from tearing down the walls?
He is not Jericho. He can't tear the walls down. That is a dated WWE reference, people.
I can imbue the walls with holy magic.
Somehow. Question mark. Dinkiba and I looked at him, all of us equally surprised. A demon with holy magic? How?
How the fuck did you get holy magic?
Exactly.
You look and smell like a demon.
I mean, well, looks I don't know, but smell, that could just be Diana you're smelling on him. The guard held up his wrapped hand, letting the beads on it jangle with a sudden motion.
I've had the ability to use holy magic ever since I was taken in by my lady's family.
Ah,
There's
the
no doubt
magic's
that I am
with
a
you
demon,
all along.
But I can't recall how I gained this ability.
I've done other lives, sir. I know that's a lie. How is holy magic different than demon magic? It's right there on the tin.
It's white magic. Unlike demon magic, holy magic isn't so finicky. Think of it as warding or dispelling magic. You can't bless air or anything that doesn't have physical form, but you can bless objects to fight back against other forms of magic.
Interesting. Very interesting.
If the walls were blessed with holy magic, the Demon Lord wouldn't be able to escape until we released him.
Okay, I'm down for this.
Why not just trap him forever?
Because that would be a continuous drain, Matthew. Keep up.
That's idiotic. He would still be a threat regardless.
Exactly.
Holy magic doesn't last forever. And stone will crumble eventually.
Exactly.
He's right. We wouldn't be able to keep the walls up forever.
The situation became more and more complicated the more we discussed it. How were we going to go about this? I don't know and I don't care.
We can't just sit around and debate this forever. The
Sure
longer
we can.
wait, the more we risk him striking back at us.
Fair enough.
But is it worth killing someone to trap him?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on who we're killing, really.
When we finally strike, we will lose hundreds, if not thousands, of soldiers anyway.
Yeah, we are
Difference will
kind
make
of at
us
war,
lose one
guys.
more life on top of this.
Again, we're at war. They have been at war for a while. We're really kind of intruding on the last 10 minutes.
Soulless fuck.
No, I'm pretty sure he would be. Never mind.
We can still cage him in.
I bit my lip. It was a really tough decision. A curse or a trap. Which was better? Both had their prices, but we had to choose one. Again, why is this my choice? I literally just fell in here the other day. These guys have been fighting for months, if not years. Again, I'm protagonist coon, but still. From the look of it, no one wanted to speak up, so I felt the urge to say something. Maybe I would be the one who would determine everything, because I have main character powers. But which method would be the best choice? I'm gonna say the trap. Because, you know, No one needs to die for it. Everyone in the room looked at me as I finally spoke up. Oh, come on, none of you guys were going to do anything until I clicked a button. We needed to be better than the Demon Lord. He was willing to sacrifice lives to trap me here, but it only showed how desperate he was to win, and how little he valued life. He would lose this war one way or another. It wasn't worth losing someone who could help turn the tide of war. When can you put up the barrier?
We can leave after this, meeting is over.
Cool.
Are you sure this is the best choice?
Not really, but it's a choice. At least I'm trying to do something. Actually, I'm a little surprised. Like, the 5 brothers, this is their dad. They would probably know him the best. Why are they not being, you know, a little bit more proactive? Why aren't any of the wives like, what the fuck is going on? Again, this could also just be the end result of I have run this scenario so many times. And there's still a few more times to go. The curse isn't the only option. We need to show that we're better than him. Are we really, though? Everyone nodded in reluctance, while the others did with confidence. I looked at Diana just in time to catch a twitch from her visible eye, and she shook her head and looked out to the rabbit woman.
Are you quite positive this will work?
I am very certain. Since it will be just 3 of us going, we can shadow travel there and be back by the morning.
Cool. See? Good plans. Positive outcomes only. Diana looked at her guard and nodded.
Very well. If you believe it will work, then I trust you will make sure it does.
As the guard nodded and slightly bowed, the other demons seemed to let out a sigh of relief. Were they worried about performing the curse? Yeah, if it means someone they know is gonna die, probably. They're demons, not heartless. Diana shook her head before crossing her arms and looking directly to me.
So, since you'll be here for a while, we might as well give you names that you can use to refer to everyone here.
Cool.
Are we getting human names?
You are way too excited about that, fairy child.
Must we?
Agreed. Can we just get on with it? Diana rolled her eyes and gestured to each demon, naming them on the fly. Oh, like she has not considered this beforehand.
For the sake of time, we'll use simple names. This is Rabbit, our magic advisor.
Hi, Rabbit.
Sergeant, commander of our armies.
Yep.
Shadow, leader of our assassins.
Hi.
And Faye, our nomadic forest ambassador.
Cool.
Sergeant, I'm a commander, succubus. Shouldn't my name be commander?
And she's a queen, not succubus, so shut the fuck up.
It's easier on the tongue, though, to say sergeant.
Not really. I actually think commander's an easier word.
My lady, what shall they call me?
Spear Boy! Starfruit! Holy! Diana looked at Serio for a moment before turning towards me, a look of seriousness emanating from her eyes. Let's face it, it's I, folks. We only see the one. Although I do want to get her a ponytail holder so bad. Like, sweetie, just come here. Let me put your hair up so you can see what you're doing.
You may call him Zero. He
Hi,
is my
Zero.
personal guard, and he is always by my side.
Okay. Cool. The other demons and Zero seemed to be surprised. Was Zero his true demon name? Why would you give me his true name? Because shit's about to get real, yo, and you can't count on being able to defend yourself here.
Are you sure?
Your queen doesn't like being second-guessed.
Call him only if your life depends on it.
Yes, ma'am.
Do not abuse this permission.
Yes, ma'am. Her eyes seemed to burn as she gazed into mine, full of hard intent and warning. I mentally noted her seriousness as she ran a hand through her hair.
Well, now that we have a plan and introductions are out of the way, I believe we can end this meeting.
Yay!
We have a lot to accomplish in 1 week.
Yes, we do.
What about us? You don't expect us to sit around.
It would be a waste.
Actually, I do. You all don't belong on the battlefield.
Sure they do. They fought demons in the real world, or devils, I should say. They'll be fine.
What are you talking about?
Well, Twilla, the wise should probably stay out of it, no offense.
I will not take untrained and unarmed beings into a war zone.
Really? I think you would. Hold on. I interjected, stepping forward and crossing my arms at Diana. She seriously wasn't going to make us stay back while she fought the Demon Lord, was she? You know what, Diana? That's not fair. It wasn't fair at all. I was stuck here, so it should be my choice whether or not to fight. Exactly. Also, you're discarding the Demon Lord's own sons. They are powerful in their own right.
I'm only trying to make sure you all get back to the human world safely. I can't expect you all to fight in this war.
Sure you can. We're already here.
Let me and my brothers train then. We're demons, for fuck's sake. We know how to fight.
Exactly. Can't believe I'm agreeing with Sam right now. The boys stared at Diana as she turned her head towards Sam. He was right, for once. Though, they knew how to train, so they knew how to fight. Not necessarily. If they fought with the rebellion, there would be a better chance of winning this war. Again, you're getting 5 powerhouse juggernauts. Let them onto the field.
You all realize this is a war, correct? You can die here.
I think they know, sweetie. It's gonna be fine.
We understand completely.
Exactly. Thank you, James. Voice of reason here.
We do as well.
Irene, I kinda doubt that. Diana could only stare at our group as we challenged her proclamation. We're challenging a queen inside of her own court. That might not be a good idea. I wrapped my hand around my fiancé's arm, frightened at the idea of participating in a war. Oh, come on, is any scarier than being kidnapped by devils and by Diana later? I'll be fine. But knowing that we needed all the strength we could muster to finish the Demon Lord, this was the only way I could go home. Defeated, Diana sighed and rubbed her temples.
Very well. I can't exactly keep you here like prisoners.
Exactly.
So it'll be up to you if you choose to train for battle.
Yay!
However, I highly suggest just staying here and allowing us to handle it.
Yeah, but I got main character powers, so no. I nodded, as did the others. This was really happening. We were going to kill the Demon Lord, and we had 1 week to either prepare for war or wait it out. Diana turned towards me and looked down at my outfit. I had nearly forgotten that I was still in my wedding dress, until Diana pointed at my chest.
Lumen infere, velum tedescere,
Makeover powers, go! I stared at her, unsure of why she was speaking Latin. It usually means spell. Until I felt the fabric around my body shift and change. I quickly looked down to see my wedding dress morph into an outfit that looked perfect for the demon world. The white top shifted into a long-sleeved, oversized tunic with a leather corset and vest, while the bottom part of my gown split and wrapped around my legs, forming into dark leggings. My shoes stretched into long, knee-high boots. That is one heck of a spell.
Oh wow, that looks really good on you.
It would be nice if I could, see it. I blushed, getting used to the feel of the outfit. The corset wasn't tight, but it was still something new along with the rest of the garb. Mathew, however, smiled down at me and kissed over my forehead.
You look really cute.
Aww. Blush. Thanks.
Faye, Rabbit, you both should finish your preparations and head over to the Demon Lord's castle for the spell.
Yeah, you got shit to do, guys. Bye. Nice meeting you.
How are you going to get there?
Good question.
I'll get us there, no problem.
Alright, Tinkerbell. Go get him.
Just make sure we don't get stuck there or lost.
Yeah, she has tricks to eat, gosh darn it.
No promises!
Bye!
Sarah, make sure the job is done.
I think they can do their job without supervision, Dee.
I shall, my lady.
Sario, Faye, and Rabbit began to make their way out of the room as Diana turned to me and my group. As they left, Diana let out a small sigh.
I will take you to some rooms you may rest in.
Thank you. Thank you, Diana. Diana merely nodded and led our group out of the room towards our new temporary rooms. This entire experience was not something I expected to go through. Especially since it was now interfering with my wedding. I was trapped in the demon world under a curse that I couldn't break without the demon lord being killed. And I was expected to wait? I know, right? Ugh, do they not know I have stuff to do? Such an inconvenience. The entire journey to my room became one filled with mild anger within me. At least Mathew is here to help me through this. But I still couldn't help but let the situation sink under my skin. This wasn't fair at all. Yeah, but only a child pouts and whines about things not being fair. I knew Mathew could sense my anger, as he lightly squeezed my hand, which was gently cupped in his as we walked beside me.
Hey, what's wrong?
Everything? Calm down, tell him. I'll just calm down. I knew I wasn't going to get anywhere being mad, and I didn't want to let him know how frustrated I was. Really? I kinda would. There was nothing we could do anyway until the battle was over, so I had to suck it up and deal with it. In this life. I sighed and shook my head. Nothing's wrong. Sorry. Not sorry. Mathew frowned a bit before bringing up one of my hands and kissing it.
Alright, well, if anything is wrong, just let me know, okay?
Maybe. I nodded, happy to know that he was open and ready to support me. Like a good little boyfriend who's so good. Mathew and I continued to walk down the halls of the castle until we arrived at the same ambassador room I had slept in before. I guessed that the room was mine for now. Well, I mean, you know there are worse honeymoon suites to have? Stepping in, Mathew looked around in slight awe. What, your room at your daddy's castle wasn't as luxe?
Whoa. Awesome digs.
I know, right? Let's jump on the bed and have a pillow fight. I had to giggle at Mathew's surprise. It was almost like we had stepped into a hotel on vacation. Well, you're not wrong. Except this one was forced on us until the end of the Civil War. It was mildly messed up, but it was a situation we had to deal with. Yes, feel sorry for us in our luxurious digs. I walked over to the bed and sat down, letting out a sigh at the feeling of the softness underneath me. The bed was still as comfy as last night. Well, why would it change overnight? It's not a living thing as far as I know. Mathew, however, began to walk around the room, taking in the sight of the decor.
This is a really fancy room. Wonder what room the others got.
I am also kind of curious about that. I smiled, watching Mathew ponder for a moment, before replying to his statement. Yeah, apparently this is the open ambassador's room. I was able to sleep here when I arrived. Mathew stared at me dumbfounded for a moment, before slapping his forehead and shaking his head.
Right. Time's different here. Holy
Yep.
crap, I forgot about that.
How could you forget about that? Wait, huh? I became confused as to what Mathew meant. What did he mean about time being different here? Mathew looked up at me and grinned sheepishly.
Well, how do I explain this without making it confusing?
Space is warped and time is bendable. Keep up. Mathew rubbed the back of his head, staring at the fireplace before speaking.
Well, you see, time moves faster here compared to the human world. Like,
okay.
Much faster. If I remember right, then I think the time difference is every 5 hours here is 1 hour there?
Ah.
Maybe?
Okay, fair enough. We have a timetable, finally. Wait, huh? So if I was here for a day, then... Mathew took a moment to do the math before nodding and speaking again.
Yeah, that's right. You were gone from the human world for about 5 hours.
Wow. That's fucked up. 5 hours? I was astonished. The time difference was really prominent and a little disorienting. Not really. Didn't that mean time moved faster here? I was getting confused. It's not that hard of a concept. Holding my head to try and unscramble my thoughts as they collided. Mathew, however, rushed over to me and sat down next to me, hip to hip.
Hey,
are you saying we're joined at the hip?
We found you, so that's all that matters.
No. All that matters is getting home. I could only nod before looking at the ground. It was a lot to take in, but at least I wasn't really missing for a day in the human world. However, I was going to be here for a week, so in accordance to the time difference, I would be missing for more than a day. How was everyone at home going to react? They're probably just going to think you got cold feet and ran away from your wedding. I could only hope that something was used as a cover to delay the wedding or the like. I looked up to Mathew, now a bit concerned.
Huh? What is it?
I want to go home. This sucks. Your dad's mean. What happened while I was missing? Mathew frowned a bit and rubbed his head, running his hands through his fluffy hair as he spoke, staring at his knees.
Well, when you didn't come with the rings, we got kind of worried and tried to call you. When you didn't pick up, we kind of panicked, but Irene and Iridessa decided to rush over to the house to see what had happened.
Okay, cool.
They came back, saying you were gone. We pretty much scrambled to use our magic to wipe everyone's memories, reschedule everything, and use the time to find out what happened.
Okay, so you've been busy. Mathew pressed his lips together, most likely remembering what he felt during my absence. I felt bad, but there was nothing I could do to have done to stop it. Mathew shook his head and continued.
I guess we have to thank Simon for finding you.
What?
Without him, we wouldn't have figured out what happened.
What do you mean? What has our delinquent son done now? Simon. Mathew nodded before stuffing his hands in his pocket and pulling out an infuriating stuffed animal. Oh, that's no way to talk about our kid. Simon blinked a couple of times before looking up at me and giggling like he usually did. Still creepy. God, I love our creepy little son. Simon. Simon jumped from Mathew's hand into my arms and crawled up onto my shoulder, becoming immobile like a doll once he settled between my neck and shoulder. Aw, I has pet. I gave his head a little pat before looking back to Mathew. Well, he was the one that hid the rings. I had to find him.
I know, but after you were taken, he helped us pinpoint where you were, and bam! Here we are.
How? Has our son always had this power? Is that why you gave him to me back in the first game? So many more questions. Mathew chuckled a bit as he ruffled some of Simon's fur.
I guess this little furball was useful after all.
Aw, our delinquent son's awesome, finally. I could only smile before leaning over to kiss Mathew's cheek, making him gasp slightly.
Huh?
Aw, look at that face. At least you found me. Soon we'll be able to go home and get married like we planned. Hashtag priorities. It gave me a little hope to let the thought sink in. Despite the terrible situation we were in, we would soon be able to go home, I was positive we would win this war, and everything would work out just fine in the end. Mathew seemed to agree, nodding as well with a smile.
Yeah. We'll go home soon.
About time someone said that besides me. Mathew wrapped his arms around me and nuzzled to the side of my head, making me softly giggle. My body felt relieved to have him near me, caused me to wrap my own arms around him. My heart was jumping with joy regardless of the situation we were in. Simon took on the cue to hop off my shoulder and quickly skittered across the floor and up onto the fireplace mantel, resting on it with the decor that sat upon it. Simon, no stealing. Mathew, however, soon released me and fell back onto the bed, feeling its softness. I mean, I can't blame him. It's super fluffy.
Man, it's been so long since I felt a demon bed.
I know, right? Now, what's the difference from a regular bed? Mathew grinned up at me and crossed his hands behind his head, lounging back on the mattress.
Well, demons don't sleep in this world, so we get very comfy beds just so we can lay back and relax on.
Ah, okay, makes sense. Wait, demons don't sleep.
Nah, we're too paranoid that people will kill us in our sleep.
I at least hope in the human world you've been sleeping. 'Cause I don't think anyone there anymore wants to kill you. Then how the heck do you function? We have never had this talk before. I mean, if we'd been living together, you'd think that's something you'd notice.
Energy and food. As long as we have both, we can pretty much be awake 24/7.
Interesting. The way that Mathew seemed relaxed about the whole thing made it seem like being here. A part of me was curious on whether or not he liked being in this world more than the human world. But I had to remember. He went to the human world of his own accord. Yeah, to get away from his dad. Besides, he was ready to marry me and live his entire life in my world. Yeah, moving abroad for your sweetie, I totally understand that. 'Cause I did the similar thing. Mathew stretched out and let out a groan before relaxing back on the bedsheets, letting out a small yawn.
Oh, I'm tired. You want to hit the hay?
I want to hit something. Mostly your dad, but yeah, I guess the hay will do for now. I nodded, feeling exhaustion run over me, caused me to lie back and cuddle up to Mathew, nuzzling to his shoulder. He chuckled before wrapping an arm around me.
I love you so much. I promise we'll get home soon.
I am holding you to that promise. I smiled, kissing his cheek before closing my eyes and drifting to sleep. Tomorrow was going to be a long day. And on that note, it's been a longish session, so I'm going to cut the video here. Until next, Tack Kiddo.